That's enough of that. Hate that I have to keep plugging my controller in though. Bro, just watch me stream, bro. It's all, yeah. I'm just kidding. I know it's a spoiler heavy stream, so it's fine. Goodbye, Micah. Alrighty, so we just got an invitation to the wedding of the King of Facade. And that's gonna be our final boss area, and then we're done. Well, we're not done, there's still, you know, a little bit left, but we're basically almost done. We'll be done within like an hour or two. Something like that. I'd say at most maybe half an hour to an hour to kill the first boss, and then the rest of it will be whatchamacallit? Ow. The rest of it will be probably the last hour, something like that. Can you fish here? Oh, you can. That's cool. Boom, boom, boom. I barely use this road to get anywhere because once you unlock the boat, it's just better to walk or not walk. I hurt. Oh right, I turned everything down. Let me turn that back up. What is that inactive sound? Oh. When the game is not in the primary position. A lovely song.
I've got your... I look forward to seeing your desert flowers.
There's a quest giver over here.
Hi there. Do you carry axles and paddle boards? Oh, great. So... Gotcha.
Water wheels are great, but they're a pain in the butt to maintain.
Here we go. Sure.
Oh, let her know. The king is a bit of a bad boy.
剣
What?
ウラーヌザ海山とたち直使と
I can do that.
タクツがいくポツロットカンデ一層靴お手伝い聞く
Good thing we already have those.
I've got your things.
スタン
What manner of ceremony is this mask for?
カイザムザアルテルアクル
That's a pretty specialized mask.
あと
Ah, Kakere!
We hear your days of bachelorhood are coming to a close, King.
Thankfully.
Congrats.
Forgive my prying, but we are all eager to know the identity of your lucky bride.
It's actually just Vice that wants to know. No one else cares. Actually, it's weird that everyone's all buddy-buddy with him when we only knew him for about 2 seconds and he was kind of a bitch boy.
失礼来た。
How nice to see you again.
Hold on. Fira?
Damn right, brother.
You have grown into a fine example of womanhood. I'm sure you will make a splendid queen.
Coming from a book.
Kaine's gonna want to see this.
な。つえ、いらそうとさったら、銀と尊騎士って大釣りだったらき。
Did you know that my bride threatened to boycott the ceremony if you did not come?
え、見えるさい
You must be Emil.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Your Royalness.
か
I'm sorry Kaine's not here, but
結構
Let me guess, she's outside, right? What nonsense. She knows she's welcome here.
夜せれ。
And now I insist that you stay with me tonight as honored guests of the royal family.
Of course. How could we refuse?
Very easily. We'll kill them all. The night before the wedding. Oh, kind
To
of is here.
think they even have rules governing the timing and water temperature of a bath.
What's it to you? You don't even take baths.
Yeah, weirdo.
Kaine?
What is the matter?
I don't like this. Weddings are festive occasions, you know? Should I even be here?
We were invited here by the king, remember?
Sure.
Yeah, remember?
But what about everybody else?
This
Who
city isn't
cares?
like our villages. It's all about the rules here. And since there isn't a specific rule about you, I honestly think they won't give a crap.
Yeah, maybe.
That's how it's been for years,
Will you
Kaine.
at least procure a new set of lingerie for the festivities? Some spring colors, perhaps?
Oh my.
Keep talking, Book. Let's see how smug you are when I toss you on a campfire. Let's see how...
Gladly. Oh, it's this part.
What's up?
just having trouble getting to sleep.
Something bothering you?
No, the opposite, in fact. I'm just so excited about the wedding that I can't settle down.
He's just a baby boy.
I bet it's gonna have streamers and dancing and bears on unicycles and everything.
Well, you know, this game does have a streamer. But anyways, doesn't matter.
I'm sort of jealous. I wish I was Fira.
You'll find a nice bride someday, Emil.
Huh?
Oh,
Oh, right. Bride.
you don't have any tact, Nier.
You must be tired indeed if you misunderstood that simple social nicety.
That's not how it works. Sky. This is the part where we learn that Emil is actually gay.
Yeah, that's not exactly it.
Oh, they changed that line.
竜帝隊終えた
Previously, in the first game, they implied that Emil liked Nier. But in this one, it's like, I'd like to be a bride. Which I think is weird. We're practicing piano and doing homework. No, Kaine's just his best friend.
ゼルが救世主
Our quarrel with the wolves has taken a turn for the worse. The
改ざんをついて
duties of a king are overwhelming. In truth, I feel somewhat guilty about holding a festival to celebrate my
Everyone
wedding.
needs to blow off steam and celebrate once in a while.
Indeed, your people have earned a moment of rest and respite.
Rest and respite.
こうだった
Plus, you want to make Fira happy, right?
Oh, naturally.
Anyway, life is better when you have someone to fight for.
That's not written in the rules,
Aruteru
but perhaps it should be.
対決
Someone to
達成
fight for, yes. I like the thought of that.
Aw, weddings are the best.
Oh, this is the fun
There's
part.
flowers everywhere. Everyone's happy. It's just great. I'm kind of jealous. Aren't you jealous, Kaine?
Nah.
Meh.
Oh, come on.
異牛と
And thus, in front of these beloved guests, as per Rule 904, I hereby request that you seal your union with a kiss.
さあテレルータ
Ba 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 ba. Be so, ba 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 ba. Da da ba 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 ba. He just gives it an awkward wave. The wolves are coming. You want that at your wedding? Oh, what? Yeah, you don't want wolves.
That wolf is a shade.
It's doggo time. Listen, instead of the doves at the wedding, you need to have the wolves. The wolves.
フィアーサって消されきの決定する
Enough, my husband. The people are nervous. Wait, she can talk?
より なんだ
Thank you for making someone like me your bride. Fira, no, don't leave. Fira, come back.
し高できた
She is gone, my liege.
たさす
A
とり
prouder,
たで
more splendid queen there will never be. Your life had just begun. You came from the outside. Your existence was hard. But you were finally going to be happy,
改ざん
my liege. We were going to travel, to see new things, to be together. We were going to be together forever. We promised each other. All men, take arms. The wolves die
I
tonight.
would rethink this course of action, King. Ahead lies a battle you cannot win.
改ざむ有利
My liege, we mustn't. They must die. Kill the wolves, kill them all.
想定
The queen would very much
Orale
frown
kitabo.
upon this course of action.
ユリ・ペル
You
ワ
are the
トル
king and the leader of the masked people.
ラ
Your
ク
duty
ルト
is
デ
to
ク
your people and
ゼ
their
ルガントイ
homes.
カラツグキテテカイザムタリエキューサカイザム
I
ラ
beg of you, do not bring
Ototoki.
shame to the queen's memory as a
総取り
ruler
リス
or
高
a
い
husband.
The king's grief is strong. I doubt he will stand down at this point.
Yeah, I'm guessing he'll run off to take on the wolves any time now.
Will we let him go by himself?
Of course not. Hell, I hate the wolves too.
Then we must prepare for the fight. It will not be an easy one.
I know.
We'll kill them all. Why did you draw a picture of yourself sitting in a computer? That's pretty cringe, Bethany. Pretty cringe indeed.
Are you...
Yeah. Time to avenge Fira.
It's time.
フィアヤリル
Fira is not the only victim here.
傷と
These damnable wolves continue to claim the lives of many people. I will not allow them to suffer anymore. As their king, I must take a stand.
アルテムアッ
And
タ
if the rules say that I can't, then damn the rules.
Madness. The wolves who attacked were only a fraction of the pack.
セルしたい
I will not be defeated.
Count us in.
でけはち
That is
わせ
too much for me to ask.
We're not doing it for you, dumbass. It's for Fira.
Kaine, you can't speak to a king like that.
If this is indeed the plan, then let us make haste.
Bye.
We can ill afford a...
フェルは
Thank you, my friends.
タク
If you can make use of this, please take it. Ancient Overlord.
カイザム・アクラ
Beth just swoops. Beth doesn't want to be spoiled because she's playing the game herself. So she just pops in, says check DMs to show me a stupid picture that she drew, and then dips.
ゼルガン撃つと
To
避け
strike the wolves, this city is ours.
これで里
My
ア
liege,
ル
that
テ
is a
ルは
violation of
アル
multiple
テルは
rules.
トヤリラ
Did those
Fia
rules keep
kusta.
Fira from dying? No, my lord.
フィア
What did
激した
Fira ever do?
タトサだ
She was so
気が
close to
強り
knowing
歌った
happiness, and then
吉
she had it
流
snatched
流
away
と
from her.
さ
ジン
Yes, my lord.
よりわいそとフィアとつだったあ
Was it Fira's fault that she was so frail?
ジン
No, my lord.
あんだとせ
Then get out of my way.
ど
I
しけん
cannot, my lord.
言う
You are
Kaizan
behaving
Dick.
like a fool.
あんだ
Clearly, you are still young.
しか
あんだ
Queen
Ye-
Fira was a kind
Fia.
and gentle
ポ
woman.
テトやりかき磯できたと食いてゲル
All
だ
in our city loved her, did they not?
エルガエルガとカイザムでカイザム
The
と
king of Facade, and who is our king's beloved?
フィアアイザムでフィア
Who stained the court with the blood of our queen?
ゼルガンで
The wolves did.
あんだ
Then who are the ones that will vanquish the wolves? The men of the mask. Sire, I request permission to join these men in battle. I apologize. It took time to obtain the blessing of every citizen for the war.
あるん
You visited all of them?
浮きわせ
I did, my liege. There are rules about this sort of thing, after all.
押して
Rules
キルたち
do not
エク
exist
ク
to
ギ
bind
リス
you.
ア
They
ーガイ
exist so you may know your freedoms.
え
I
カイ
understand.
ザ
now.
ムより
My liege,
Iki
you are a worthy
Otsuji-deku.
successor to your father. I know, they got funny heads. You,
カイザム地
a foolish king, attracts a foolish people.
お別れ
Do
たし
not forget this.
こうだだ
You are a foolish people indeed to
Yori-utai.
sacrifice so much for an idiot like myself. This is the saddest part of the whole game. I want you to know that.
クリ
This
ゼ
is
ルガ
their
ンタ
den.
ツトグリ言って
I'm sorry to ask so much of you.
Forget it. It's for Fira.
Let's move.
The wolves appear to be targeting the king.
せゲルダ改造改ざんに来ており
He seeks the king of Facade. Such dogged, unwavering defiance. Why do these beasts hold so
Dogged,
much
unwavering.
rage? The smaller wolves are not infected with shades. But as for the leader,
If even one shade is here, then I have to kill all of them.
ザルツゼルガンストと覚悟
Come, wolves, taste the sting of our blades.
stay on your guard.
I'll not leave a single one of you alive. Protect the king at all costs. Bonk. Horde beast, die. We cannot know peace so long as you draw breath.
ゲッタイシ
This is for my people and our fallen, and for Fira. Right through the eye. Protector of Facade.
好きてそちたかれ添えたくそとくら
She was placed into an indentured servitude at a young age and forbidden to speak. In that harsh environment with no family, she toiled day after day. And just as her future was
I
looking bright,
believe that young Fira was perfectly content with the life she had.
こう
she was?
Of course. Does this not sound like what she would say to you? She was terribly proud of her king. And now you must do all you can to honor her memory.
I will do my best. I swear it.
くたいと
I'm sorry. I need to be alone right
改
now.
ざんち
The king isn't allowed to shed tears in front of others.
Is that another infernal rule?
ラの
The
ペル
people
は
of the mask live and die by our rules.
あんた
And
としとし
sometimes we even break
アル
them.
テルはやりるロ
Isn't that right, Fira?
フィ
The poor king.
This is all the Shade's fault.
The girl in white got killed at the beginning, right
Yeah.
after they had
This
gotten
is
married.
the last of them.
We
now
got all
we
the
can
keys.
find the Shadow Lord. And Yona.
We certainly can.
Hold on, Yona. I'm almost there.
Yeah, it's very sad. It hurt my heart. I was trying my best to narrate and not get choked up.
We
You
should
almost
return
forgot
to
about
Popola
Yona.
and see if she has any final words for us.
Bum, 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 bum. Mushroom. Gotcha, bitch. kill them and collect their hide. Now there's one quest that you can't do until you've collected all the pieces of the key. So I'm gonna see if I'm able to get that quest first before we visit Popola.
I marvel at how relatively simple a task this retrieval process proved to be. It is almost as if someone deliberately set us on this path.
You're overthinking again, Vice.
I don't think he is.
I don't care if it's a trap. Yona's waiting for me and I'm going.
I see.
Why is it? It's not playing the same song as it usually does. Bum 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 bum. It's playing Ashes of Dreams instead of Song of the Ancients. Ashes of Dreams is the credit song, I think. Well, it's technically Yona's theme. Give him smack. Smack, smack, smack. There's gonna be a lot of boss fights. I think there's 2 with an enemy called Goose. There's 2 with another 2 bosses. And then there's one last boss. A couple bosses, technically, but I think we'll only fight the one.
You look like something's on your mind.
Well, a week ago, I had a sudden brainstorm that the real money is in the fortune-telling business. So I'm trying to set up shop.
Fortune-telling?
You know it. And once I get my special gazing stone...
But what?
The stone was supposed to be delivered, but it hasn't come. No stone means no customers, and...
Can't you just get another stone?
Well, they're pretty rare. I think Popola knows something
We're friends.
Oh, would you?
Looks like I have to go back to Popola anyways. This woman sounds too optimistic. It's true, optimistic women must perish. Let me out! Hum da bum 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 dum bum bum.
A very fine construction.
And that's all the bosses.
Why would Popola be collecting figurines of the shades we defeated?
Why would she? That's a question, isn't it? I wonder why. Whoa, Devil is here too.
You're really gonna do it? The whole village is buzzing, you know. I guess it's really happening, huh?
I'll bring her back. I promise.
About that.
Yeah?
Nothing. Popola just loves to worry.
Wow.
Anyway, you be careful. Yes, do be careful.
Thanks.
Hey, Popola.
Oh, you mean the Eye of Power? And yes, I know it's a funny name. Why do you ask?
Helping someone out?
Well, there used to be some on the roof of the Lost Shrine. I'm willing to bet they're still there.
All right. I'll give the Lost Shrine a shot.
Well, that's irritating. That's where I'm supposed to go for the final mission. It seems Popola and Devila know something. Alrighty. We need to take the boat to the back end of that one place.
The parts are on the way. The guy said he'd bring them to you.
That's great. I found someone to do the repair work. Here.
Water wheel complete.
The village fountain is starting to break.
I would speculate that the source of...
That's my guess, too. I heard you had part...
Sure, why not? I'll...
Popola Devila sus. Oh man, if they remix... I mean, I don't think there's any reason to remix Ashes of Dreams, but if there were, and they did, I'm gonna be very happy to hear it. Because it was already a full-length song.
Are we ready?
Let's all make it back alive, okay?
It's a plan.
Today, Devila said that Kaine is put together in all the right places. I don't know what that means, but I want to be like that when I grow up. Kill 'em all. It's genocide time. What the hell are those? I've never seen a shade like that before. Listen, you dumb bitch. I wish I could have Kaine's buff. Like she glows blue for a certain amount of time. That'd be... Oh, okay, bye. I forgot how stupid the heavy attack was. Stop attacking open air. I don't like it. Do it. Well, if you don't wanna, you can die. Poke, 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 poke. No, come back. Is that guy alive?
Hey.
Hey, there are shades here? Give him a slap bibbity.
That's the last of them.
Give me the rope.
This should be enough root.
Let's get it back to that guy. I don't even remember who that guy is, to be honest. got him. It's the root of our problems. Let me in! Let me in! Good night. Do it. Do it again. Stab. Stabbed him right through the chest. Sorry, Chief. You exist only for me to flex on you. Bum 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 bum. Kill him in one hit. You ever feel like you really need to sneeze, but then it doesn't come out? Rolling, rolling, rolling. These guys suck. I already have too many recovery potions. Why was there like a buffer door? What? Did I fuck up? Level 43.
I wonder why the shades are getting so strong. They were never this powerful before.
It seems the shades are continually expanding their forces.
Looks like they'll just keep pushing us humans back, huh?
No, I'll find a way to stop it.
I'll find a way to stop it. Now we gotta find that stupid rock that this lady wants. Push it, you fucking dweeb! Wow, they just landed on their feet like that. Ow. Don't like that. Got the Eye
This
of
must
Power.
be the Eye of Power.
Oh my gosh. I can feel magic just gushing out of it.
I must say, I'm impressed. Telling one.
What do you think, Sky? You want to see the future? Oh, it just damages me. It doesn't take me back where I want to be. Nier could kick that shade's butt. The fuck are you? What did you just do? We have to go see our future. It's a quest I never did in the original game.
Oh there.
Maybe I'll name it after Nier. Oh no, that's Davila. Never mind. I got a quest to give a root to some guy, but I don't remember who that guy was.
Guy with the gold. For
Well, we're on our way there anyway. Vroom. That song makes it sound like we're never going to return to the village.
Well,
this.
that's it. Oh, how about a free re...
Sure.
Let's see what the eye has to reveal.
Let's see.
Where are we?
I don't know. Never seen this place before.
I have.
Shades! In our dreams? What cheek!
Dreams.
I refuse to believe that we were simply whisked off to some alien land.
Yeah, I suppose.
hit them all. I don't think I've ever heard this song before. This would be hard if I weren't so cool. Did you see that? That sick ass dab? I dabbed on that hoe. Now what?
What was that?
I cannot say. But I doubt it was a mere daydream.
I think I've...
Wow. I don't know what happened, but you guys look pretty shaken up.
Yeah.
There's a deep inner meaning behind this fortune, but anyway, thanks.
I think I'll...
What was that all about?
How about a...
Sure.
Let's see.
What happens when we see it again? Is it gonna be something different? No, it's the same thing. Okay, that's a little different now. To watch me play video games. Keep going. Keep going. Got the words. Skimbibble. You only have to do what you want to, Sky.
I cannot...
Maybe that's just something...
Wait, what? You bet I do.
Wait a minute.
If you find them?
Sure.
Last I heard, someone saw him in...
Guess it's back to...
Well, we got the pipe. That's what's important. My eyes are killing me. Sorry, Steve. Time to vacate.
there.
Alrighty. Now that the nonsense is over, let's go beat the game. Your teacher will kill you tomorrow. You'll revive yourself with olive oil. Do it. Use the olive oil. Channel it. Become a beekeeper. Oh shit. When I was taking piano lessons, I would learn how to read a piece of music, and then I would memorize it based on, you know, sight and feel and all that fun stuff. So I wouldn't actually learn to read the music. So I was never good at reading music. I'm just gonna run past all these guys since they're so fucking lame. It's not fun. It was my least favorite part. And I have ADHD, so it was even worse. It's part of your exams. Are you a music major? Or did you just take a music elective? Piano exams. I feel that. We had a really broken, piano. I don't even know what you would call it. It wasn't a full brand. It was like one of those half ones. But it was like some of the keys were broken and it was improperly tuned. But I played on that a little bit. And then we moved, so we got rid of it. And I got a full-size keyboard. And now I haven't played in like 8 years, so I don't remember how to play anything anymore. You mean the one from Nier? Practically everything is hard in Nier. Let's get out of here. Yeah, the Nier soundtracks are
Such
in
an
a whole nother.
ominous sight. and yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
They're on a whole nother
Yeah.
fucking level.
This is where Vice and I first met. And first fought together.
Wow! This is where you used to live, Vice?
Well, yes, I suppose. In a technical sense.
Pretty nice digs for a floating magazine.
At least it was free from annoying hussies like yourself.
Yeah, hussy.
And now the path is open.
Here we go. Are you ready? This is where things start getting a little weird. But boy, is it pretty. Look at that, the ruined buildings. All throughout. The Phoenix Sword.
To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
The hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I've heard this somewhere before. To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
Why did they?
You must answer. I answer, because of a black disease. I ask, how can humans extend their lives? I answer, by separating body from soul. I ask, what is the destination of souls?
They are placed in their corresponding shells.
I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells. Very well. You are acknowledged as master. You may enter. Well then, it seems the way is open.
There wasn't a single point in the game where you learn any of that. You kind of just 50-50 it because you are given the options to do it. Oh, look.
It's the twins from your village.
Popla? Devila? What are you doing here?
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yona here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
What are you two doing here?
I'm not going to answer that.
You can figure it out yourself.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad. We didn't want to fight you. We really didn't want to.
Devila! What's happening?
Sorry, this fate was predetermined. Still, We spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so, until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie. I don't believe it.
Wow, they're pretty tough.
We never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Weiss. You are a traitor.
What now? They copied my powers.
Ah, shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place. You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Vice, are you all right?
Devil, both of them. Why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the shades?
Poor Nier. You don't know anything.
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
The Shadow Lord? So you've been on his side this whole time?
No
You
way
must
to
search
always.
for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now. Please, enter the Shadow Lord's castle.
Bye.
Devil and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Hell,
Vice?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Weiss. I am perfectly...
He's falling apart.
I think I hear a waltz.
Yep, it's this song. Dance of the Evanescent or something.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all shades.
I think we're locked in.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
I like swooping around behind him like that. We're getting quite a lot of words here.
won't stop coming!
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good
Twice!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us!
Protect the hussy. Good plan.
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
A little bit, yeah.
No, you idiot. What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool.
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
Me talking to my significant other.
Are they laughing?
These things are freaking me out!
They're babies, aren't they?
Kaine! What's wrong?
We need to help Kaine! We need to help Kaine!
Get her up.
You okay?
Yeah. Well, we got problems.
We got a lot of problems. What's he saying to them? Oh, hello there, goose. It's a boar. That boar from the start of the
No
game.
need forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
Kaine's talking to the shades.
Damn shit.
I'm gonna tell
Oh, dear.
Mom. Oh, this one's got armor.
You even hurt this thing?
I don't know, probably.
Oh no!
We can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going!
Let's go.
Are they telling me to leave?
This way. Move.
We're moving. This is the part where it turns into that one Jurassic Park section. Good thing I stopped to pick that up. Christ.
Up here!
That would have sucked. Well, don't worry. There's at least like 6 more bosses.
How can we deal with this thing?
Someone help.
Please, hurry!
Shut up! There's items in boxes. I'm too fast for you, boy. Oh.
Attack incoming!
The entrance is locked too.
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Boy, your armor sucks. I don't remember how to beat you. Don't. You have to see the ending. Once you see the ending, you can go to sleep. The Men of the Mask. I'm surprised this one gave you so much trouble. The people of the mask owe you a great debt.
What are you doing here?
You are correct.
We have a common enemy.
But
We are the people of the mask. Let's go, boys. Rescue the one you hold most dear.
stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no!
Once this is all over. Until then.
No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own!
You have to keep going, defeat the Shadow Lord, and get your sister back. You must know once again know the joy of having a love by your side. How many rules are they're about to shout before dying in battle? 88, my lord. Amazing. How do you remember all these things? Do not despair, my liege. We are with you. Let's try this again. By the honor of the mask. For the honor of our king and the honor of our queen.
Open the damn door!
Let's go.
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
My friend.
My friend. I haven't heard this song before either, though. I'm assuming it's some type of remix of Kaine Salvation. I was right. It's time for the two. The Queens.
Devila. Popola.
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
This is the exposition of the entire game, by the way.
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Vice? Then let's give you a refresher.
Vice! My... Devila. Popola. You are not human. In fact...
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us. Every person standing in this room are mere shells created by the true humans.
Mere shells.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades. Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
The shades are what's left of humanity.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
You just used my own
Yes.
fist against me.
We're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
No. I'm nothing like you.
We got her.
Devila? Devila?
The ones we trusted the most.
Popola. Are you crying? No! Don't die! You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls. Devila, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh God, I can't stop it. This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird.
Just a little bit.
Sorry, sis. I love you. Devila! Devila! Don't you go! No, I can't be alone! Devila!
Popola. Let's stop this now.
Stop? Now you want to stop? You think you have the luxury to stop?
That's a good line.
You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal and now you want to stop?
Popola, wait! It doesn't have to...
No one stops! It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devila were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial. chance of such a fate is difficult to imagine.
I don't want to do this! I don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting! It's the only way!
It's over.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
Sky is still here.
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
Emil, I don't like this idea.
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
My baby boy Emil.
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now get going, okay?
Emil.
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Emil! You jackass, get back here! Emil!
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn. I want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
There he goes. My baby boy. almost time. Get him. Beat him up. Kill him, Kaine.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. These fucking enemies suck. That was a health salve. Damn it. Bum. Time for the Shadow Lord. This is my favorite song. Well, Nier has a lot of my favorite songs, but this particular song is very nice for like as a boss music, I guess. I don't particularly care about much of the other boss music themes, but this one is really nice.
This ends here. Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
How could a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord?
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you.
Get him.
Be careful!
I know.
You can parry him. That's fucking sick. Slim bibbity bop. Boom boom bop.
Wait.
This part's important. Pay attention, Sky.
Brother?
Yona.
Goodbye.
Huh?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore.
She's gonna tell you.
I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it.
No, you'll be fine.
There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me.
That's not what she's asking, dumbass.
Let's go home.
Yona, no! Don't do it! She was asking if he's the brother that the girl inside her is looking for. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand that the Shadow Lord is actually himself.
I don't know what to... I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that... I love you.
Hurry. The shade that possessed her is gone.
Here it comes. This is the good part.
Watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand your sadness? Think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this!
Ooh, he's dealing damage.
Weiss, what's wrong?
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What are you doing? Strike the killing blow.
Ooh, killed him in one hit. What the hell? That's not supposed to happen. I'll explain it to you when it's over, Sky. Give me one sec.
One moment, please.
You okay?
Fine, just fine. All right, no, I'm not.
Weiss,
Alright, no, I'm
It
not.
seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that is. Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it.
I've grown.
I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live. Shut up.
This is a lot harder when, this was a lot harder in the first game when you didn't have a choice. Shadow Lord Music Box. And with one stroke, humanity is doomed. Alrighty, let's go talk to Yona and Kaine.
Is Iona all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Vice, where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book? That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
You get to choose.
That's not the right name.
Oh, I forgot. It doesn't. It's not like that. I have to type it in myself.
Is that you?
Yona.
Is this my
yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
The worst kind.
I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kaine.
You and your sister, you have a good life, okay?
Where are you gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Kaine.
Hey, look.
What the fuck?
It's beautiful.
What the fuck, Yona?
For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it.
Alrighty. Final cutscene. Why are they kids again?
Thank you. I love it. It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
The Shadow Lord and his Yona. In veils of deceit, imprisoned in twisting spells. Alrighty, so basically, that's only the first ending, Sky. There's 4 more or something like that. Basically, humanity's already technically dead, right? So the shades we've been fighting this entire time, they are different. Yeah, you'll see. We'll get through all of them and blah blah blah. Anywho, humanity's already technically dead. The shades that we've been fighting is what's left of them, essentially. They created this thing called Project Gestalt, which separates body from soul. So all of humanity that was left separated their bodies from their souls. And the only one keeping the shades together as like the prime Gestalt was the original Nier, our player character. You know, our player character is actually the replicant of Nier, meaning he's not the original Nier. He's basically just an android created to house Nier's soul. So the original Nier is the prime Gestalt, which keeps the shades, or the shades from going insane and killing their own replicants and all that fun stuff. So, what we just did as the replicant Nier, killing the Prime Gestalt, dooms humanity essentially, because you know that's just things. Those are just things people do. You know what I'm saying? I think that's it, actually. It's rather simple, right? It's rather simple, quote unquote. Yeah, I think that's it. I think. Oh, and the Yona that was speaking before she opened the curtains was the original Nier's sister. And because the Yona and Nier and all the characters we've met so far have been replicants, they were the bodies designed to house the original souls. So basically what Shadow Lord Nier was doing, the reason why Yona had the black scrawl was because the original Yona was going insane as a shade and was about to destroy Yona. So the reason that the Shadow Lord abducts Yona in the first place is to save his original sister and put the original Yona soul into Yona's body. So that's the reason for the entire plot. So when we actually, technically the Shadow Lord is not bad. It's actually, it's a gray area for both parties, right? Because what humanity never expected was for the replicants to gain their own souls, which is what ended up happening. So when the Shadow Lord implants Yona's original soul into her replicant, she realizes that there's another soul within the body, and she, being Yona, doesn't like that, and she basically kills herself when she opens the curtain, which causes original Nier to go crazy, the Shadow Lord to go crazy, and try and kill Nier. So yeah, the whole story is based on, you know, a brother wanting to save his sister from literally both sides. Basically, yes, but at some point they did create their own souls and their own memories and all that fun stuff. So they are basically, the entire point of Nier is, like, as a story, is to question what it means to be human, right? So while they're not technically human, they are, because they act like they are. You know what I mean? So, am I human? What does it mean to be human? Exactly. When you play the entire game through the eyes of what is essentially a robot who doesn't know that they're a robot, is there any difference? Is there any difference that makes them less human than, you know, any of us? Does that make sense? So it's like, yeah, it's a fantastic story, incredibly complex and very deep in terms of its actual all that fun stuff. Yoko Taro's a crazy man. That's all there is to it, essentially. But, you know, two brothers wanted to save their sister. Two different brothers wanted to save their sister, and unfortunately, the man that ended the world won. If you want to think of it in like a grand scheme of, you know, humanity, essentially, we doomed we as Nier doomed the human race. Of course, we didn't know that what we were doing, but I don't think that would have changed the outcome because Yona is everything to Nier in the first place. Technically speaking, it probably would have been better if Shadow Nier won. It doesn't seem like Project Gestalt was actually working, though, so I don't actually know one way or the other. Well, what about them? Kaine is also a replicant. You actually get more of her backstory in the following playthroughs because once we start playthrough 2, now that we know that the shades are humans, we're going to start being able to hear their voices. So all of those weird scenes where you hear like the grunting and groaning of the shades, you're going to actually hear and see subtitles on the screen so that you know what they're saying. And that adds to the story. It's very fun. You also get flashbacks for all of the bosses that we kill now that we know that they're fucking humans. So we're gonna have fun with that. I really want to know what happens with Luis, the ship girl, the tentacle monster, because she's completely new to the story. So I'm really looking forward to defeating her and learning her actual story. Because what they do in the second endings and onward is they give you additional backstory for all of the bosses after you kill them, and you also get additional. It basically shoves in your face the gravity of what you're doing, right? Because essentially every shade that you killed is an actual member of humanity. So you get to hear them cry for their loved ones and lament over the fact that they're being slaughtered. And that scene where all of the little baby shades rolled up on that one dude, I'm pretty sure those are children, and essentially we were slaughtering children for about 2 minutes. So also all of the little tiny shades that we were fighting, also children. So it's a very lovely and completely not verifiably insane twist, but it's what makes it's what makes Nier such a special game for a lot of people, because it's essentially, it's not something, it's so utterly unique in the way that the story is told and what the story actually is. So it's just insane. Oh, what are you doing there? So now we have ending A, as you can see. Exit the clear data save screen. Ending B, load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. You can now read a departed mother's diary in your house. Wardrobe has been added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through a departed mother's diary. Change music has been added to the game settings of the options menu. Oh, this is all very cool. I don't think ending B actually gives you that much depth into Kaine's story, but it might actually. You might get like a little text prompt where I'm gonna have to narrate the entire thing, and it'll be basically a novel portion that kind of tells you what's going on. But apart from that, so this is essentially going to be a boss rush from here on out, pretty much. So because it starts from here.
Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time.
Wow.
Anyway.
Anyway, let's open up this box. Let's unice this hoe. I think the worst part about getting additional scenes and stuff. What just happened? Kaine's Dreams, Discrimination. Yeah, I guess we do get that novel that I was telling you about. The worst part about getting having to play through again and getting new scenes and stuff is that you're gonna have to watch the exact same cutscenes over and over in order to get additional info. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on, come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life, spinning this way and that for a moment until it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly to the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine returned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to the sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh, look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Dino grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak, chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of rain, letting it become her entire world. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. "Oh, Luna Tuna, you're in the way." But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. "Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it." The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. "Ow!" he screamed. "Stop it! What are you doing?" "Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch." "You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch. A big one. That thing could have killed me." The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. "Get out. Leave this village. No one wants you here. Either of you." Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. "Ha! Look at the fat boy go. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight." The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then protruded a cloth from the folds of her dress, and she began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kaine, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. "Wait until we're done with the novel, Sky. God! Don't be nice to me. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. "Do I make you sick, Grandma?" "Of course not, don't be an ass." Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. "But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't—" "Hush. I'll not hear another word of that nonsense. You're my granddaughter and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell." With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. "Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me?" Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. "Where did you find these?" "Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping." The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. "Didn't quite turn out right," said Grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are! What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough, even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she were hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters and wood. And splinters of wood in words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma called Kaine. That you, Kaine? Don't you get too close, or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she'd scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma, do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something. The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shade's been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Ugh, crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt, and a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with a blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. If you practice, you better practice if you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her mother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma? Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that. Just stop. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit, but I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spit on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey, lady, where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me, they seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion, fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady, trust me on this one. Which way? The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the store. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide that they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall behind the counter rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Callie? She was still mulling this new fact over in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and returned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you? Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her granddaughter, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" "Uh-huh, so anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horse shit. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain in her back, reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It could also have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, then slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kaine, you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she'd interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before, and it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness." It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory, a perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. I think there's one more after this. Time moves on, people and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall, but this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. I think this is the last one. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. "Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug." The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. "It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs?" "Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible." With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. "Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat? Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact." 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. "Where are you going today?" Kaine looked up surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm gonna pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around the room. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could shoot through this house. I'm gonna build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Goddamn, girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot, I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other. Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, of course, you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she'd first received it. You're gonna be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl. Suddenly she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, stop it. What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around, she told herself, but in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looked so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that had covered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No, oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt. Her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. Alright, you bastard, she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you or me. Let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began raving frantically. She's alive! Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opens its mouth and let out a powerful roar to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on, just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself from the ground, across the ground, with maddening slowness. The distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved his claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back! Give her back to me! It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no. No, I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing the remains of the roof down upon the shattered figure of the woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after another. Faster and faster until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then. A thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side, yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a madwoman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the Shade. The Shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. Think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation, repeated over and over again. Kill it, 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 kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Alrighty. It was 3 novels. And let's kill this guy in 1 hit. Have a good night, Sky.
What anger this creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
I'll see you next time, Sky. Squish. Oh, more dreams. No! 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 Gently, weakly, softly, the Shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stomping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of an arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha, cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought, to an unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you, that way you can live forever. No, stop, don't want to live forever. Want to die right here. I see. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper flooded in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quite quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop! No, don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth as a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed-down, recognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Ha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come, but just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled into her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Ha ha ha. Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and she began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die, so why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy, and I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in their blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body, and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back, too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop. Stop. The black ooze hesitated as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, sunshine? We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that, sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it. Hate's my favorite dish and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood, then go out there and... Shut up, and get the hell out of my body. Your body. Oh, that's rich, sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, Sunshine. Then there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on forever. Possessed? Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare agreement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I am a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you, that big old shade that squashed your granny, we'll wrap them up in their own assholes. What the fuck does that even mean? No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, you're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet. The power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole. I'll handle the killing. Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we are gonna have so much fun. So listen, my name's Tyrion, and if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade and I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyrion. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyrion. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of hate, if you ever, you know, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. Feels perfectly normal, it feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her head, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the Eyrie arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive! Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
And then she does.
Oh, hey. Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
has it been?
5 years.
Shit. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the
Oh
way,
no, he's hot.
this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's.
No, it's great.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain.
The boys
That
are
is,
back in town.
Until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all.
Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
Please try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village.
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. As long as you're still with us. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades.
True.
Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Yeah, dumbass.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird.
Campfires are weird.
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know?
I don't remember if this was in the original game.
At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Something like that.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
Go join them, clown. They're your friends.
Sure.
And yet you're red. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well. What might that...
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore. This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little...
In what way?
Well, here, take a look.
It's gonna force me to play a game, isn't
Say
it?
there. Can you not hear me?
Oh, look at him.
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Where you at, extra? You have done the checking. They added Papa Nier to the game, technically. Jamieson Price got a couple voice lines. It's basically the complete opposite of what it used to be. Oh, all the songs are remixed too. It's neato. I was hoping he'd talk a little more, but he only got like 2 voice lines so far. You do get to hear him grunt. Okay, I mean this isn't important to the story, so you'll figure it out. Goodbye. It's important to me. That's fair. I guess. Alright, Mr. Bossy Pants, where are you? The Black Scrawl, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. could just hit him with magic, but I don't really feel like it. Soldiers of Salt calling forth white death, they are legion, those who plunge the world into darkness. I don't like these enemies. I got a weapon. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. Cut into him like a fucking joke. The black sickness stains the future. They journey to return a soulless vessel. The dreaded. Shot through the heart. Obtained the Kabuki outfit. Let's go.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Where's the wardrobe? Where? They said it was in the options menu, wasn't it? Hold on. Oh, it's in the title menu. Let's check that out, shall we? Bum. Let's not do that. Let's see what changes. Emil's down in the loading screen now. Huh, weird. I wonder what Kaine and Emil look like. Alright, Emil looks horrible, but hot damn, that Kaine.
I worked it out. Shop here more often, yeah?
I didn't buy anything though.
The diary?
Yeah.
The world of the recycled vessel.
Creepy. Oh, it doesn't change to Papa Nier's Kabuki outfit either. The apocalypse divided the world in two. No one knows something, and I couldn't hear it. Black and white, 13 packs. The vessel's forms waver as they cross something. I don't like this.
It seems we have been shut in.
Okay. The song of a man had been drowned out. It's in its place the scream of something inhuman. The sky falls with the dragon. The world ends this day. These enemies didn't exist in the original game. I mean, they did as the DLC. Trying to parry him, but it's not working. Nope, it doesn't work. Those guys are really beefy. The puppet priest collects the accursed prayers and polishes the vessel. I did not expect a first-person section. Are we done? I wasn't really expecting a House of the Dead kind of thing. I think there's 13 of these.
My word.
Something wrong.
I feel as if
I know what you...
I'm kind of dumb. Oh, the loading screen's Kaine now. Okay, this outfit ain't too bad. Very nice, Kaine. Emil still looks stupid. Alrighty. I'm gonna call it here, folks. You guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys next time. I don't know when the next stream will be. I'd like to get through the rest of the Nier endings, though, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do about that. I don't want to spend so much more time playing Nier, but the endings are important, especially for me, so who knows. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.